BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap will get you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.com.
Welcome to Rice TVX. Today's show is a clip that was taken from one of my recent appearances on BitBoy Crypto's Around the Blockchain. The live stream was on December the 10th, 2021, titled One World Rule for Crypto. Facebook admits to censorship. I will have links down below and above for the full episode.
What is the role? Can you just describe to the people what the IMF does, and don't just say they're like the Legion of Doom? Can you actually describe what the IMF does?
I mean, in a way, I would kind of describe the IMF as being the central banks of the central banks. And a lot of people may disagree with that, but it's the International Monetary Fund. They seem to monitor everything. They created the very first digital currency back in 1969, something called the SDR, which is the special drawing rights, in case people are unaware of that history lesson. They pretty much are a big influence on what takes place worldwide when it comes to economics and fiat currencies, I should say, not money, because there is a difference between currency and money. But when it comes to this whole idea, this entire article about the IMF basically being terrified, looking at cryptocurrencies as being a threat, this is exactly why cryptocurrencies was created in the first place, for one. It started back in the early 80s with David Chaum, who is considered the godfather of cryptography. And then we had the cypherpunk movement. David Chaum created the first digital currency beyond the SDR that was called DigiCash back in mid-90s. So there's been a lot of development going towards this for encryption and privacy, and to take us away from the fiat system, which is controlled by government and central banks. In the United States, that would be our Federal Reserve. You can see since the Federal Reserve has gotten into power, we've had a complete decline on the dollar. The dollar has lost almost all of its purchasing power it's had since 1913, and it's been a complete decline. If you go onto the Fred website and look at the chart that I'm talking about, you'll see exactly the decline that we've been constantly in, where when Bitcoin was created, it was created in 2008. And it was created right outside of the crash that we had in 2008 that basically ended the system. The system was kept on life support by quantitative easing. We've seen Hillary Clinton just come out recently talking about Bitcoin being a threat by undermining currencies and decentralized cryptocurrencies, undermining currencies, undermining the role of the US dollar as a world reserve currency, and destabilizing nations. This is exactly why I got involved in cryptocurrency. So for the IMF to be pushing for these regulatory issues, I mean, this has been something ongoing. Christine Lagarde, who was in charge of the IMF, she put out a digital paper a couple years ago called Winds of Change that people can check out. There has been a push for going in a digital direction. That's why when you look at the crypto conspiracies, people say that this was created by the NSA. There was a white paper created by the NSA back in the 90s. Who is Satoshi? But ultimately, we have decentralized technology. It's open source. You don't have to trust it. You can verify it. We can't do that with the governments. So, of course, decentralized cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, are going to be a threat to the US dollar and fiat currencies and the legacy system. That's why we say be your own bank.